What's going on, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here with a very special guest this afternoon, someone who you've probably heard me and Corey mention during Packer transplants. And here's the man himself, managing partner of Titletown Tech. It's Craig Dickman. Mr. Dickman, how are you today?
Hey, doing really well, Aaron. Thank you for inviting me. It's been fun watching you over the years, and I'm really excited to have the conversation.
I can't believe a Packers board member would characterize it as fun. That's very nice of you. Thank you.
Well, some of us board members are a little different than others.
Okay, very good. That's what I like to hear. I do want to ask you a little bit about Titletown Tech itself, because as I said, we've talked about you and Titletown Tech on Packer transplants before, but I don't think there are a ton of Packers fans who have spent a lot of time maybe diving into what it is that you guys are doing over there across from Lambeau Field. So what is Titletown Tech, and how did you get involved, and how's it going so far? Because it is still, in the grand scheme of things, a pretty new venture.
It is, and love to share a little bit. So, Titletown Tech, the story really does begin with the Packers, and a little bit like people say there's 31 NFL owners in the Green Bay Packers, how unique the Packers are. There's like venture capital in Titletown Tech because we're venture capital, but we're different. And I think where we play is what we do is we really focus on who are founders who are doing really interesting things, solving interesting problems, thinking of entrepreneurs, thinking of innovators, and taking a look and say, how can we help them really solve meaningful problems in a way that creates value? So what we do is we invest capital. Happy to share a little bit more about how we think about that, but we invest up to $2 million in a first check in startups who are trying to solve interesting problems. We invest resources. So we've built this really unique community. And it really starts with, at the core, is the partnership of Titletown Tech begins with the Packers and Microsoft. It's a very unusual partnership. I mean, you'd never stop and think the most obvious partners are the Packers and Microsoft.
Right.
But you've got this unique owned, community-owned football team, one of the best technology companies in the world that really did align on purpose. And the purpose is, how do we create impact, meaning bring good, high scalable startups and new companies into the Wisconsin economy, and how do we create returns to make it a sustainable process? So as an example, so far we've raised $95 million. We have $95 million of capital to invest.
Wow.
We've invested in more than 30 companies. So we've got more than 30 companies that are up and running. Ironically, we've had 7 companies move from other parts of the country to Green Bay or to Wisconsin. So we've had 2 move from LA, 1 from Denver, 1 from Birmingham, Alabama, 1 from New York City, 1 that was virtual. So we've had these companies that have relocated here, and we never make a conditional investment. Like, we'd never say we will invest in you if you move to Green Bay. We always tell them, hey, wherever you're going to be the most successful is where we want you to be. And then we try to create an environment that has them both believe and in reality be most successful if they're here.
I love that. I do love anything that brings people and jobs to Green Bay in the area. The fun part for me is, I had read about it initially when it was announced, and like you said, the Microsoft involvement is so different and unusual for like a National Football League team, and just the idea of a venture startup kind of driven environment is so outside the norm. I just think more people should probably know about it, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. And you mentioned the Microsoft partnership, and it's fascinating to me that the president of Microsoft was in Green Bay last week for this announcement that you guys made about the startup draft. What exactly is a startup draft? How is it going to unfold? What's the process here, and what's it all about?
Well, Aaron, and just let me start leading into that by touching on the president of Microsoft, Brad Smith, who has really been a great advocate for us. And Brad's come here. Our chief technical officer from Microsoft comes here once a quarter. Microsoft actually has a full-time technologist in residence they provide to Titletown Tech. And so it's this really unique resource base. But like you said, we're certainly trying to get more people to understand what Titletown Tech is and the type of work we do here. And so with the NFL draft coming by, it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. So we announced last week the Titletown Tech startup draft. And in some ways, think about it very similar. It's a call out to who are the best entrepreneurs from around the country, and really asking for people from around the country who are interested in connecting into the ecosystem and getting investment to apply. They can apply in www.TitletownTech.com, throw their name in, and share the information on what they're doing. We're going to go through and have a combine ourselves. So on April 3rd and 4th, we'll be bringing a group of companies into Green Bay, putting them through evaluation. So we'll have them share time on what they're doing. We're going to bring in companies who could be potential customers to say, hey, this is good and I like this, or gee, this isn't so good, I don't think I would buy this, but really run them through an evaluation process. We're still debating if we're going to have them run the 40-yard dash. We're thinking about it.
They're going to start that here in Indy in a couple days. I think tomorrow, actually.
There's a certain elegance to test them out on a lot of different levels, but then also provide real coaching. So we really think about how to coach and make them the best possible version of themselves that they can be, so they can compete in the marketplace. So we saw these really interesting parallels where we're out scouting for startups, we're bringing them to a combine, we're evaluating, we're coaching, we're ultimately go through and try to understand who do we think is our first round draft pick. So on April 24th, we'll be live streaming with LiveX, and we'll be announcing the number one pick in the Titletown Tech startup draft is. And one of the cool things about it is when we make that announcement, what will happen is they'll be receiving a $1 million investment from Titletown Tech, and they're going to receive $350,000 in technical support and compute from Microsoft. So it's a really unique package that combines capital and resources. Now, I will tell you along the way, we hope to pick up a compensatory second or third round pick.
Very good.
Companies
what a
that
shrewd general manager. Yes, very good.
So we're hoping to get that through the evaluation process. And so right now we're really just encouraging, if you're in the marketplace and if you think you're doing something cool, then toss your name in. And especially in areas that one of the things, and you may remember this, Aaron, when we launched, what we didn't want to do is be something that we're not, meaning as a region, Wisconsin. So we didn't want to try to be what someone else is doing and bring it to Green Bay. We said, there's some things that make this economy really unique. We're really good at making things, manufacturing, construction technology. We think the rest of the world undervalues making things. So if you're a startup interested in making things, we think this is the place to be. If a region's good at making things, you've got to be good at moving things. So transportation, supply chain. Again, we think we've got some of the best of the world companies and thinkers here, and some of the best potential customers if you're building in the logistics, transportation, supply chain space. But it's also areas like agriculture, food, water, thinking of the natural resources that we have here, energy, digital health, and sports. So areas that really not only tie directly with what the Packers may be doing, but thinking really broadly about what made this Wisconsin marketplace strong. And then, of course, with Microsoft and the tech part of Titletown Tech is the strong tech focus, where we're so focused on what are some of these new emerging technologies that are really creating the opportunity to solve problems in new ways. And so we're seeing things in AI and autonomy and robotics and just really interesting technologies that we think become really additive to the ecosystem, the marketplace, and the economy here. So it's really kind of an interesting time to be looking for startups. And we think we offer a really unique opportunity for them that even beyond the $1 million of investment, that even beyond that, the real magic comes from bringing all these other capabilities and resources in to help them build and hopefully increase the likelihood they're going to be successful.
It sounds outstanding. If someone is interested, we will have the link in the description of this video here on our YouTube channel that they can go to apply. Is there a deadline? I know the turnaround feels pretty fast here, seeing as I think the draft is on April 24th. So when do people have to have their information into you by?
Yeah, the turnaround is really quick. So we're accepting applications up to March 16th at 11:59 p.m. And so that's the point where we're asking for folks to put their applications in. Then between April 16th and March 16th and before the combine, we'll be inviting that group of companies up here and having them in Green Bay for 2 days. And then after the combine on the 3rd and 4th, we've got till the 24th to make our selection in the draft. And so, if you wander over here early, you might see our draft board up, our ratings, our evaluations.
Right.
We won't tell you who our general manager is going to be, who's going to make the pick that day.
Right.
And we can't tell you who's going to be announcing that pick that day, but it really is a tight schedule. And I think it'll be a lot of fun for companies to be able to participate. And that's one more thing I would add. because of the combine, because that combine gives people a chance to really connect with the market and get feedback on market, on technology, on their business model. I think even the companies that don't end up being, the first pick or a compensatory will find great value out of that process. And hopefully everyone we touch in that process, the combine, we're going to help become just a little bit better than they were before they came to Green Bay.
Absolutely. That, like I said, it sounds fantastic. I've certainly I've already thought of a few people since we've been talking that I think would be interested in applying, and I'm sure you're going to be inundated. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this unfold. First ever startup draft in late April. I'll be in Green Bay. Definitely will be saying hello. I know Corey's very excited. He has not shut up about it in the last, say, 2 or 3 days. So I know he's very excited to participate with LiveX and live streaming the event. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're really excited to have Corey. I was going to say Corey is normally a shy guy, so I'm
real quiet.
But certainly, LiveX is a good partner on this and bring us the ability to live stream this on several different platforms. And it goes back to a comment you made early is more people should know about what we're doing, and we think so. We're biased, but we think more people should. And this is a great opportunity to tell people what's happening and help them understand why an organization like the Green Bay Packers and Microsoft would partner in a way to really create meaningful change. And so it's exciting to be able to bring it to life to, in some cases, hear a new audience.
Absolutely love it. Greg Dickman from Titletown Tech, thank you so much for the time, and I'll see you in a month or so at the startup draft.
Look forward to it. Thank you.